actually the city's official positions.
I don't even know if I'm the right person to have this conversation, but
I mean, I would be ready to fight that, but I don't know how you do that.
We will be devoting our resources to opposing the open carry of assault rifles. We oppose the open carry of assault rifles. Is that something that we are directing our lobbyists to go to Tallahassee and say?
listen, if somebody's out in the middle of the panhandle in a rural area and they're going to go fishing on some river and they need to carry an assault rifle so they don't get eaten by a bear, I don't think we object to that.
I'm wondering if we could ask as a priority to maybe revisit the legislation that allows you to carry a firearm with a fishing pole. I think it, saying you could walk across the beach to a pier with a Popeel pocket fisherman and an AR-15, that's not exactly what legislature had in mind. So I would be just as appalled seeing somebody carrying a shotgun or a hunting rifle,
Anytime you're talking about firearm issues, it's a very heavy lift politically. It's a sensitive topic from people across the political spectrum. I certainly think that the legislature has made their view known, which is that they are looking to expand people's ability to carry in public.
Certainly, we had our own public incident that generated it.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey! Why you got your hands on me?
Because you're walking with a firearm.
I know. I'm going fishing. Look, I got a fishing pole.
It's about these congregated public spaces, and quite honestly, people who are really just using it for to create, a public incident for clicks.
But you don't have to carry a machine gun or a frickin' AR-15 around with you. We could ask that the statute be rewritten in a way that, doesn't cause...
Eliminates beaches.
How do you do that?
You can ask, and then it'd probably be a question of how much really political capital are you willing and looking to put into trying to get there, because...
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it.
What's going on, buddy? Soliaker here. And yeah, I really dislike Clearwater, Florida. I will have links to all the council members and all their information. This is public information. There'll be links in the description. And I'll put it in the pinned comment. I would implore anybody that is from the west coast of Florida that lives anywhere near Clearwater that has time on Thursday. Like I said, they have a meeting on Thursday. It's a council meeting. I would implore you to go there and talk to them. The second half of this is anybody from the west coast of Florida or lives around the Clearwater, I would highly recommend you go and open carry, because they do not like it and they are trying to shut it down. And this has happened to me before. I'll put up a little screenshot here, but yeah, this happened in Palm Beach. The senator was Bobby Powell. He tried to do the same thing, didn't get anywhere. They're gonna try to do the same thing, more than likely not gonna go anywhere. And they just don't care about our rights. They don't care about your first, they don't care about your second, and the citizens are just not being treated well by their town. So I'm gonna get out of here. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. I'm going to be talking more about the open carry for those people that do it. I'll make another video. I've got more videos coming about this, so just stay tuned for that. And I'm out. Soliaker, deuces.
In terms of like council priorities, like if there's a member of council who wants to add something, this is your opportunity right now.
Okay.
Okay, yes, sir.
I'm wondering if we could ask as a priority to maybe revisit the legislation that allows you to carry a firearm with a fishing pole. I see the open carry of assault rifles is on there, but I think it could be amended. I'm not saying that they can't, but I mean amend it where you can't, walk through a public beach with it. I understand the issue. I'm not saying you can't do it, but they could amend it in a way that, doesn't cause what we've had happen.
And it probably won't cause much pushback if we're specific, right?
Well,
Is that what you're thinking?
I think it, saying you could walk across a beach to a pier with a Popeel pocket fisherman and an AR-15, that's not exactly what legislature had in mind, so you get my drift.
You call the police officer. I think most people do.
Okay.
This is actually the city's official position. So for example, in the bottom, when the city is saying that we oppose the open carry of assault rifles, is that something that we are directing our lobbyists to go to Tallahassee and say? And if so, is that something that, do we have a common definition of what that means and things like that? So those are just things to think about because that's in the agenda.
I think trying to, a definition of an assault rifle is hard to do. I mean, I would be just as appalled seeing somebody carrying a shotgun or a hunting rifle, So, is that what you're talking about, like in public?
Sure, I mean, that's why I'm just reading off of the page. So as drafted, it looks like this document says that we will be devoting our resources to opposing the open carry of assault rifles. This is not my document, but just reading it. So is that something that the council wants to devote lobbying resources to do? Because if that's not something you want to be devoting lobbying resources to do, then it should be stricken from this list.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's...
So, I think it is a little bit of a legacy. I don't know if that was on there last year.
It was from last year.
Maybe personally responsible for it, so I'll take this, but certainly I think your new chief needs to be the one that makes a decision on whether or not his recommendation is still a concern. But, the open carrying an assault rifle already is a problem. It just said there's an exception that allows it in the scenario that we've seen. Okay, the current law doesn't allow anybody to openly carry a rifle unless they're on the way to fishing and hunting, which is what the application is that we've seen consternation about. So the ask at the time, I think there may have been a decision to put the language on there the way it is, but that was the provision we were looking to change.
Right.
Further refine it so that, listen, if somebody's out in the middle of the panhandle in a rural area and they're going to go fishing on some river and they need to carry an assault rifle so they don't get eaten by a bear, I don't think we object to that. It's about these congregated public spaces and, quite honestly, people who are really just using it for to create, a public incident for clicks as opposed to any other legitimate fishing opportunity. So that was the reason that I put it on there at the time, and certainly we had our own public incident that generated it. But I can't necessarily speak if that's the will of the council or the will of the current administration or chief. That was just my experience and my reasoning.
I think what I'd like to do is revisit the actual ordinance or the way it's stated and maybe rewrite it in a way where
We're preempted on the ordinance, so we couldn't write an ordinance that supersedes the statute, I don't believe.
Well, I don't mean our ordinance. I mean, we could ask that the statute be rewritten in a way that, doesn't cause...
Eliminates beaches.
How do you do that?
Beaches.
You can ask, and then it'd probably be a question of how much really political capital are you willing and looking to put in to try to get there, because it is a lengthy list with some priorities, and I think there's probably a decision that, I don't think this needs to be decided today. I don't even know if I'm the right person to have this conversation, but certainly there's things in there that may be more achievable than others that are worth putting your time and efforts towards.
I would agree with all that, except to say that as drafted, it says that we are asking to oppose open carry of assault rifles. So I think the direction from council that would be needed is either, are you comfortable with that language that is in there, or would you like to strike that language entirely, or would you like to amend the language to say something else? And I think those are kind of the three decision points. My personal opinion on this is that anytime you're talking about firearm issues, it's a very heavy lift politically. It's a sensitive topic from people across the political spectrum. I certainly think that the legislature has made their view known, which is that they are looking to expand people's ability to carry in public. We saw that with the permitless carry recently. The governor has also spoken in favor of that. My opinion is that this is a very hard lift politically, but if the council feels strongly about this and feels that this is the right thing to do, that's okay. But if that's the view, then we need to articulate exactly what we're going to propose as far as, for example, are we looking to create carve-outs where someone could not carry on a public beach, as an example? Are we looking to create carve-outs for certain types of firearms? What is the definition of an assault rifle and things like that?
I think you have a hard definition with an assault rifle. And look, I'm a real proponent for protection for women. They should be carrying to even the playing field. So I'm not looking to take away firearms from people. But you don't have to carry a machine gun or a frickin' AR-15 around with you. That, to me, I'm fine with having that not in public. And the only place that I'm aware of that it says you can do that is in this statute that says you can, if you have a fishing pole in your hand, you can take it with you anywhere. I mean, to me, that's crazy. That should be amended somehow, and I don't know how. I mean, I would be ready to fight that, but I don't know how you do that. I mean, you just tell legislature that they need to take a look at this, because
let me suggest that we strike it temporarily and then have the chief look into it further and maybe give us some recommendations for us to review and then add later if we care to with more specific language.
Maybe that's what I would be in favor of.
Okay with that?
So what's the timeline to have Chief Gandy weigh in with some?
They start their legislation January.
So we, okay. Because I agree. I mean, if we're going to put this political clout behind such a heavy statement like that, maybe we should be more specific and be more thoughtful if we go forward.
So keep in mind that this agenda includes the local bill. I do need council to have an approval for this Thursday. If you want me to work with the chief in terms of a suggestion, and then whatever he suggests, I can work with the attorney to make sure that he feels comfortable with the language included. If that is what the chief of police decides, I'll be more than happy to do that. But I do need this to be firmed up, because that's how, once the local bill, this agenda includes a local bill, I need that firm direction so I can also provide that to our lobbyists so they can start advocating.
We need to approve them on Thursday, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion on them as of right now then? Okay.